It's time for another installment of Over Under. This time we are talking all things Ottawa Senators. Wayne, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, topic number one. Prize third overall pick this past year, Tim Stuetzle will score 23 points in his rookie season, which averages to about a half point per game. Wayne, you going over or under?
Timmy Superstar. Yeah, it's hard to believe this kid is going to be just 19 years of age in the middle of January. But you know what, Kyle? I'm taking the over here because I think he's going to get enormous opportunity. I see him as a top six player for this team. I think Ottawa wants to keep him around for the full season. I see him getting some power play opportunity. And he's a kid that doesn't get fazed by the challenge of playing against men. He was almost a point per game player for Mannheim in the German league. Obviously it's a step up to the NHL. He's going to be tested. The key for him, I think, Kyle, is going to be his health. As we know, he broke his hand at the Mannheim camp in October. The hand is just coming around now in time for the World Junior competition. And of course, he'll represent Germany there. I think that'll be a nice catapult into the Sens training camp for him.
It's amazing. You go back just since 2015, 2016, have the guys at Sportsnet Stats look this up. There's been 18 players as teenagers that have averaged over a half point per game in a season. So it's not a big surprise anymore. It's not something that you rarely see of somebody coming right into the league and making an impact right away. And if you watch that documentary of him on YouTube going through his draft day, what's one of his mottos? No risk, no fun. I think this is a guy who isn't going to be afraid to try things right away at the NHL level. So I'm with you, Scanner. I'm taking over on Tim Stuetzle's rookie year. Topic number two, Matt Murray will win 17 games in his first season with the Ottawa Senators. Now, I'm going to start here with a bit of math, and hopefully I don't confuse myself along with everybody else here in the process. But if you look at his last 4 seasons with the Penguins and the average starts that he got over the course of the games that Pittsburgh played, it would be equivalent to him getting 30 starts this season over the course of 56 games, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility. I mean, he won 20 games and 38 starts last season in what was statistically his worst year as a pro. I think he's going to bounce back. And here's the other thing. You can't tell me that in a season where we're looking at an all-Canadian division, something we've never seen before, and you're only playing Canadian teams in a setting that we've never had to deal with before in our lifetimes, that once the hockey starts, everything's going to go as planned. I know everyone's pegging Ottawa for 7th, dead last in the all-Canadian division. To me, something's going to go a little bit haywire. I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but I do think they're not finishing in the basement of this all-Canadian division. And with that, I think Matt Murray's going to win more than 17 games. I'm going over.
I'm going to take the under here, and here's why. I like you, I'm looking at the start situation, and I think because of the compressed schedule and the fact that there's probably going to be a lot of back-to-backs. I mean, Matt Murray's their guy. Tied the can to him for 4 years. They're really excited about getting him. He's only 26 years of age. As you say, he's due for a bounce-back year. I just think 17 might be a little tough. As you say, 20 wins last year with a very good Pittsburgh team, or pretty good anyway, with a rebuilding Ottawa team. And I agree with you. I think Ottawa might just get out of that basement. But I think 17 might be a bit of a push, and I'm going to take the under here.
All right. Topic number 3, the American League. Belleville Senators had an incredible year in 1920 until everything came to a halt. We're saying that 4 of those regulars down in Belleville last year will make the leap up to the NHL. And for argument's sake, we'll just say that Eric Branstrom is in with that group because even though he started with the Senators, it became evident partway through last season he needed more seasoning in the American League. You going over or under?
I'm all over the over on this one. I'm really excited about this group. Now, mind you, Pierre Dorian went out and picked up a lot of veterans to replace some of the departing veterans, and we thought, wait a second, what about the young kids? Are they going to get their chance? I think they will for a couple of reasons. One, it's a very large group that's ready to make that jump. And two, I think with the enlarged rosters that Ottawa's maybe going to be able to keep a player or two around they might have otherwise sent down. So who are we talking about here on defense? You got to think about Brandstrom. Christian Wolanin, I think, is a guy that's going to get a real look after a terrible shoulder injury last year. Josh Norris, Drake Batherson, Alex Formanton, Logan Brown. These kids, they got to get a chance to play. I think they're going to get an opportunity here. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 that might end up in the American Hockey League, but even that league, Kyle, we don't know exactly when they're going to start, how things are going to run. They're not going to be wanting to shifting players around too much. So I think these kids are going to get a real opportunity, and at least 4 of them are going to land up here.
All right. I may end up being wrong on this one, and I'm fully okay with that, but I'm going to go just under. I think Josh Norris and Drake Batherson are pretty well locks, I think, are going to make the leap this year. And then it'll be one of those other cast of characters down there. I'm not totally sold yet on Logan Brown. Certainly Alex Formanton has a shot. It's helped Eric Brandstrom's case. I think the fact that he's got some games in here in the fall/winter over in Europe before coming back to North America, because everybody's had such a long layoff. I just wonder, between, again, just the uncertainty of going into this year, how different all of this has been, and the fact, as you mentioned, Wayne, they went out and I think signed a lot more veterans than maybe we were anticipating over the course of the off season. So I'm being a little bit more conservative on this one and taking the under. I think it'll be right around 3. Final topic for us here, Wayne. Evgeny Dadonov, the prize free agent signing that Pierre Dorion made in the offseason. He's going to score 20 goals this season. I'm going to go slightly under here, because if you look at what his goals per game was over the course of last season, it puts him right at 20 for this year. So certainly he's capable. He's been right around that 30 mark over the last 3 years with the Florida Panthers. But the thing is, I mean, he's not going to have Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov to play with this year. The Ottawa Senators had the worst power play in the league last year. Florida was a top 10 team in that department. Certainly he's going to help there. But I just wonder, with the adjustment of getting used to some new line mates, and the fact that I think there's got to be one or two that he's going to put on net, and inevitably it's going to bump off a shin or a rear end of Brady Tkachuk, and he's going to wind up getting credited for it, and may steal a few from Dadonov along the way. So for that, I'm going just under on this one.
I'm so happy that my math checks out with yours, because I also had him at about the 20 mark. It seems to be about a 0.36, I think, scoring average for this guy. You know, he's really the most proven scorer in Ottawa's lineup with Anthony Duclair gone. He's going to be the guy. I think he's going to get huge opportunity. I'm going to say he's going to do it. I think he's going to be right around that 20 mark. A proven 25 goal scorer with Florida. And, you know, a couple times he reached that mark without a full 82 game schedule. So I think he'll do it. I think he'll be pushed. But, you know, this may be a bellwether. If he has a good year and is a 20 goal scorer, it might bode well for the Ottawa Senators this year.
Beautiful. Well, you know, Pierre Dorion has been saying the last little bit, it's time for the players to deliver. Wayne, I think you and I delivered here in this over-under segment. So now we'll see if the Ottawa Senators can do the same. Thanks for joining us. It was great chatting with you.
My pleasure.